Hi, this is Heather Picken, and welcome to the Woman on Fire Entrepreneur Podcast. How to break through anything, become unstoppable, and be profitable. Learn how to align your mind. Yeah, I call that activating your money mojo. Market to your ideal clients and make money doing what you love. Tired of struggling and trying to figure things out? Do you tend to stop when things get tough? Well, I'm here to steer the ship out of the sea of overwhelm so that you can attract money and success in your business now. Grab your favorite beverage, let's fire it up, get inspired, and live life at your highest potential. Here's Heather with her co-host Chihuahua, Frankie Lee. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Woman on Fire Entrepreneur Show. And I'm always on fire and inspired to bring amazing guests for you all around the world, helping you to really unleash your passion, of course, profit from it, and own your power. And what better woman to really help you to own your power and your money story is Val Bullerman. So, Val, thank you so much for being my guest today.
Thank you. I'm super excited to be here. Thanks so much, Heather.
Oh, my pleasure. And I'm so excited about the topic because we're going to be discussing discovering what you call your money personality and transforming your business with confidence. Now, I have to tell you, this is probably the number one thing that really holds women back from stepping into their true power, their true potential, and unlimited prosperity. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. It is probably the number one thing that keeps women from getting what they really, really want in their life and business, both.
Absolutely. And, you know, I could honestly talk about this subject for a long time because when you think about if we take two people that have, let's say, the same skill set level and what they're doing, and one person's charging, let's just say, $300 an hour and the other one's charging $2,000 an hour. What is the difference? The difference is confidence, right?
Right. That's the only difference. Being able to step into that confident place and know. And the mistake, and we'll just go there quick, the mistake that people make a lot of times is, I don't feel like I know I bring value, but I don't know if others will value me. Right? And so really what they need to focus on is what's the result that they give clients every single time and how much would they pay for that result? That's where you price yourself. I don't want to get too far into pricing, but that's where they price themselves versus what they think they should, what the market will stand for. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Biggest mistake.
It's such a head game because, you know, let's kind of like let's take a step back here and look at how technology is changing literally right before our eyes. The world, our businesses, now more than ever. I mean, we can connect, you know, with our phones. Like everyone's trying to reach us, you know, through whatever portal. I'm like, no, stop.
Right.
And so when we look at this, it's like, you know, when we look at that confidence piece that you're going to be talking about, how do we really, you know, stand up and charge what we're worth and be confident with this ever-growing market, technology? There's so many tools and things to learn. I'm sure that you get women freaking out. I always like to say, you know, get in that freak out moment. They're feeling overwhelmed. So how would you like to address that?
Yeah, well, let's start out. We're just going to start at the basic beginning. And the first rule is going to be stop comparing yourself. Stop it, right? Because it absolutely serves no one. We only compare to despair.
Wait, let me stop you there because this is really key. So there's 1,000, let's just say if you're a coach, 1,000 coaches out there, businesses forming all the time. You're seeing people get successful. And I see this is what happens to people. You start looking at their success and what happens is you stop. So if you're telling us not to compare ourselves to other people, how can we do that? Like you can't shut this off, right?
Right. Yeah. Well, and we know I see what's going on in the world. I see all my colleagues doing some amazing things. One of them had $1 million launch, and I was like, oh, that would be awesome, right? That'd be very cool. And then I realized that's not my gig. Right? That's not how I'm going to make my million. That's not it. So finding your spot and you kind of like getting in your lane and staying there. and driving in your lane. So let's talk about the personalities, because this is really a big part of what we're talking about here, is creating a unique, like you have a unique brilliance. And in that unique brilliance is only what you should be doing, right? And so, but my unique brilliance is going to be much different than yours, right? What we bring to the table is very, very different because of our backgrounds. We could have been trained exactly the same, but because of what's happened to us in our lives, in our businesses, is completely different. And so how we're going to show up with our clients is going to look different. Our purpose in the world is going to be different. Right? And so each of us have a different type of personality. And I actually work with, it's called Sacred Money Archetypes. And it's a way to talk about personalities. Like I'm the maverick. There's, that's the bold on prices, willing, high risk, high reward, that sort of thing. And then there's the alchemist who wants to like change the world. They don't really care about prices so much. They just want to make a huge difference in the world. And then there's the nurturer. The nurturer is the one who wants to care for everyone else, sometimes at the sake of themselves, right? So then there's the ruler. The ruler is an amazing, they want to build an empire and they want everybody in it to thrive and be happy. And so those are just a few of the different types, but it's not even so much about which type is yours. That's important to know, but for you to stand confidently in who you are and what you do and how you do it differently than anyone else in the world. There's nobody else like you out there. Nobody. And so why would we compare ourselves? It's like apples and oranges. You wouldn't compare the two of them because they're not the same at all. So that's my philosophy, and that's what I want everyone in the world to hear is there is no comparison. Comparison is like you to a tree, right? Why compare that? So instead, step into your personality full on. That's really when my business took off, is when I decided I'm just going to be Val. I'm going to be the big, bold, beautiful, whatever it takes, Val, and do what I love to do. And so every day I wake up, what is it that I love to do? What do I want to do more of? How do I get more of that? That's the focus. And when you go in that spot, amazing things start coming out of the universe to you that land. I'll get the randomest phone calls and they'll be like, where did that come from? I don't even ask that question anymore. I'm just like, thank you, more, please. It's awesome.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Gosh, what you're saying is just so timely because there's so many people out there that are looking at all the other people that out there, of course they're comparing like we just talked about,
Right.
And they're wondering like, what is unique, about me? How can I put myself out there in a bigger way? And what you're saying, and I so resonate with that, is that you do have a brilliance. You have to own your power. And I think that's really interesting in sharing your story about, once you really were stepping into who you were, that's when your business took off. And I think what happens, and I see happening, is everyone's kind of doing like a cookie cutter, type of model, and they're wondering why they're not going to the next level of your business. So do you find that to be true with the kinds of clients that you're attracting? And of course, with your own story of just showing up in a more powerful way?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. There are so many do this, get that, do this, then get that, place these Facebook ads and you'll get six figures in a day or, whatever. Now I teach get six figures in a year, a month, or a day. That's part of my program, but I don't do it in a cookie cutter approach. I actually find out what is it they want and what's the best path for them to get there. Right. So everybody has a maverick is going to have a much different path than a connector. Right? A connector is going to want to connect their way to it. A maverick is going to want to like blow the lid off a box, right? And go do it in their own different, unique way. And so knowing this personality type is actually a critical component of you being able to stop comparing. It's like almost like stepping into your shoes and going, yeah, this is where I belong, right? This is what I'm supposed to do. Now, the money personalities also have what may be like a little bit of a shadow side, right? The things that you're not the biggest strength at. So for instance, you would never want a maverick to lead a team, that be their job, right? I have to be very careful as a maverick that, I'm a bright and shiny girl. Like I love all, all those things. So I have to really notice that about myself, be focused when I give directions to my team. right? And say, okay, here's our focus. And when I start doing the bright and shiny thing, I've actually trained them to say, is that a now thing or is that a for later thing? And I'm like, oh, it can be later. We're good with that, right? So being able to work with them in a way that not only supports you, but so that people around you can understand you better, and it forges better relationships everywhere.
I love that. I love just this whole conversation of it really is about stepping into your own power, understanding, your money archetype, how you operate, and being able to, go out there in the world and just be you, be authentic, be you, be raw. And I find the most fascinating people, it could be a world leader or just people that are online that are doing that. That's what they're doing. That's where all the eyeballs are going, because people are just saying, you know what, this is me. This is who I am. And it also ties into the confidence piece. So how do women get around that confidence issue when, let's just say, they have a story to get out there that they feel like, gosh, if I tell this story, I don't know what people are going to say about me. How would you approach that? Because let's just say the story would really help them to be authentic and to go out and, go to that next level of their business.
But are you saying they're afraid to tell their story?
Right. Because I know there's a lot of people out there.
What will people think thing? Oh my goodness, I love this. So here's the thing. I would have them write down the top 5 results that people would get from hearing that story. So like, for instance, in my case, if I told my beginning story, it's always, I am you, right? I want people to know I didn't begin at 6 figures. I began at 20,000 was my first year. I really struggled in my first year. And you'll hear a lot of people say, oh, I'm not going to tell that part of it because it's embarrassing to me. What it is, it's giving hope. It's helping people to understand. And truthfully, it's a great connector. It connects people. When you can connect through story, it's 100 times better than connecting through educational stuff, right? Like, I always think of the spew of the educational, it's all, and you feel like, oh my God, I got to weed through all this. Instead, tell your story. Let those that hear it be drawn towards you. And those that are not drawn towards you, it's great, because they're not your peeps to begin with. It kind of creates that razor's edge, which is what we always want in our marketing and who we attract.
I love that. And, also what goes with that storytelling, being authentic, is handling the criticism, because I know that is one of the biggest things that people freak out. Like, if I tell this story, what are they going to say? Like, they're going to say mean things about me online. And the world that we live in today, let's face it, anyone can say anything. Right. Oh, I hate you. People can be mean. They could be idiots. It's crazy. I'm sure you have some of these stories, but I remember when I first got online, my first hate email, and I was in tears. I didn't know how to handle it. Now I just laugh at it. I mean, maybe I'll get 1 or 2 of them. But what would you say to people that that are facing that? They get some criticism because they put themselves out there, and then they want to play small again.
So here's what I have them say. So it's kind of like I always say, repeat after me. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that fabulous? How fascinating is that, right? Because I want them to go to that place of curiosity, because what people write to us has nothing to do with us. It has everything to do with where they're at and what they feel about our progress, about our success, all of those things. I really would like people to cut the cord on attachment to wanting people to like them. That could be one of the biggest things that can hold you back. So when you start stepping into your personality so strong and so bold that you are starting to attract some people who are like, oh, you're just all about the money, or that, I hear that a lot. And I'm like, well, money buys choices. Who wouldn't want choices in the world? Why would you not want a choice? I don't have to justify to anybody. In fact, I don't anymore. I just give them the big D, delete. Remove them from your inbox, get rid of them out of your world. Don't worry about it, because those people, if they did it to you, they're doing it to lots of others, and who's going to listen to them anyway? So let go of that wanting to be liked. That actually will keep you super stuck and not allow you to get what you want.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny because I was doing a show, gosh, maybe it was like a month ago, and I had someone write into me and they said, "Oh, I love all the guests except for this one," and then they went off on a tangent.
Right.
Excuse me. And, I honestly didn't respond back because I'm like, listen, if you don't like that interview, you don't have to watch it. And I choose who I want because this is my show.
Yeah, right? Exactly. Exactly. I do this for me, not for you. Right?
Exactly. But yeah, it's a really important lesson, especially I find we as women, we tend to get a little emotional, a little bit more emotional than men. So we need that support system. We need that kind of, hey, girlfriend, we got your back.
Right.
Don't worry about what people are saying. And
100%.
It's necessary, I believe, for growth, for actually people to challenge you, because that's what's going to make you grow. So can you attest to that, or working with some of your clients, having some people say, but it catapulted you to the next level of your business?
Absolutely. I actually, and boy, this is first time I've talked about it in person. So here we go. I had a person who came to one of my retreats. I do retreats in Sedona at times. Had a person that came to the retreat, and she decided that she wanted to lead the retreat in the middle of my retreat. Right? Because don't get me wrong, she's amazing. She's led retreats herself, but she came to me for something that she wanted to receive, right? She was not in the receive mode at all. And then of course, when, things got, a little sticky, then she got mad. Then her anger came up. And of course, guess who it was aimed at, right? Never aimed at who it was supposed to be aimed at. It was aimed at me. And so really, to make sure that we are anchored in our purpose. What was the purpose of the retreat? What was the purpose of the event? What was the purpose of the show? What was the purpose of the email? Because that's what's really important here. Not that person who gets cranky or angry, because that's all, once again, that's all about them. Nothing to do with me. So allowing that to be a wonderful learning opportunity for us. And here's the thing, if it gets under your skin, call that friend that first is going to go, oh, that sucks. And then they're going to kick your butt and tell you to get back to work because you're changing the world, right? We all need those people. So make sure that you do have those people in your world that can remind you of your greatness. That's a critical part of the recipe. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you for sharing that story, because I think it's important. A lot of times people will be watching interviews like this and going, oh, your life is so perfect. I'm like, you have no idea what we've been through. We've had our own little challenges and pathways that we've had
all the time.
Break through. And that's why we do what we do in helping entrepreneurs, really help them to be successful and get their message out there. And I want to talk about the money piece and really, owning your power and charging what you're worth. So what are some of the tips and strategies that you can help women with to be more confident, when really saying, this is what I charge, or even, trying to think about what they should be charging?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So here's the thing. I'm going to do this with you. I do this with my clients all the time. It is so much fun. So let's just say that we're going to pretend here that you want to charge $10,000 for a small event that you're going, or a small coaching package, right? You're going to charge $10,000. It makes you very nervous because you've only been charging like $5,000 or $6,000 in the past. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to double that amount to $20,000, and then I would have you stand up and I would have you say as loud as you can, the investment for my program is $20,000, and you say it 5 times, and then you clap your hands 3 times. And then you do that like 3 or 4 times, right? And the more you do that, the more it gets anchored in your body. And you're like, oh, yeah. So then now you're going to go back and say, the investment for my program is $10,000. And you're going to go, maybe that's not enough. Wait a minute. Maybe I need to head for that, right? It will change how you feel in your body about that number. And all of a sudden, I've had people do, well, maybe I need to be the 20,000. I think that might be right. I think that's the number for me. Because really once again, it's not about what everybody else is charging. It's how much you can charge, how much you value, how you're going to change the world. And truly, how you're going to change the world is priceless. So choose your amount and go out there and deliver at that level all the time, every day, and more. There's so many people giving way too much away and charging just not enough. And it breaks my heart. It really does, because I know when people are asked to pay a beautiful price for their program, the people that are actually paying that are receiving a huge gift of, are you willing to invest in yourself at that level?
I love that. Yeah. So it also helps the other person that's investing to give them the confidence. And I will tell you this, since I have raised my rates, I attract better quality clients. And I think that's so important, because if you're charging next to nothing, then you really become in resonance with, that kind of energy. So I think that's really important.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. I just love this conversation. I mean, I could be talking with you about it for forever, because it's probably that money conversation. I really want people that are watching this or listening to this right now to really get this. The confidence and the money will really, impact every decision that you're making in life, of how you want to, lead, and how you want to create, your lifestyle, and really embrace the power of money as a tool. Because like you said, it gives you choices. And when people start complaining like, oh, money isn't everything, that they don't have enough and they're always working for money, so they have some issues around that as well. So so we talked a lot about, the personality types, being confident with your business. Any other last words that you want to share with our viewers and listeners today before we leave?
Sure. I'd love to let them know that even though they at times don't feel as confident in themselves as they would like to be, I want them to really understand that confidence exists. And so everything that they can do to embrace who they are a little bit more every day, then that confidence, like a muscle, will grow. It will grow every single day. And so using the money personalities is just one little way to help grow your confidence muscle. Who are you in your business? Who are you when you work with money? Who do you want to be? Because sometimes we'll receive a result and they'll go, I don't know if that's really me yet, but it's going to be. And so really recognizing for themselves the value of just knowing themselves better and doing better, being better, do different, right? Go out there. Of course, that's my Maverick speaking. You can hear it, right? Go out and be you, biggest you can be. And so do you want me to talk about the special?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if this was appropriate. Good. All right. So I have decided that I'm going to offer everybody who's listening to this or watching this, them a free assessment. No attachments to it at all. You will get an assessment and you'll take a quiz, and then you'll know, are you a maverick? Are you a nurturer? Are you a ruler? Are you, connector? Here's the thing that I want you to know. Everybody who takes the quiz, do not get archetype envy, because what they do is they take the quiz and go, oh, she really talked about that maverick, and I want to be a maverick, kind of thing. No. Be your own archetype. It's absolutely beautiful, and the one that you get is the perfect one for you. And so you'll actually see them. I'll send you some emails with some information about it. But once again, no charge. No, it's all free for your listeners.
I love that. Thank you so much for generously offering that for our watchers and our listeners. And we're going to put that URL in the show notes. Because if it's a long link, it's kind of hard to be writing it down. So we're going to be posting it. You'll see it below either the video or the audio. And I just want to make sure that everyone, if you're wanting to watch us live, go over to heatherpicken.com and click on video, and you'll find us there. You'll see me waving right now. So right. Val, thank you so much for sharing your gifts, your talents, your work that you do in this space of transformation, money, and building your business.
Thank you, Heather. It's been my honor. Thank you.
And I want to encourage all of our watchers and listeners to take Val up on her offer. You can see the link below. And one more favor, guys and girls, if you could rate, review, and subscribe to that to the show in both places, iTunes and over on heatherpicken.com, that would make me very happy, because it's my mission and purpose to get this show out in always a bigger way. So I'm going to leave you with one quote, and it ties into what Val has shared with us today, and that's know thyself, be thyself, love thyself. It's a great Greek quote, and it's exactly what she's talking about today, about being true to yourself, being authentic, and really owning your power. So thanks again to my guest, Val Bullerman, and this is Heather Picken signing off. Take care and have a great day. So if you found this show to be helpful, please hashtag WOFE, that stands for Woman on Fire Entrepreneur, and subscribe to this show in iTunes and leave me a review. I want to know how these shows have helped you. I also want to know the number one thing that you're struggling with the most in your business. Every week, I give away complimentary sessions to help you get it clear on your next steps and to activate your money mojo. You can learn more about my work if you go to www.heatherpicken.com.